Scripts suck. Let me be plain English here. Scripts are horrible. You utilize scripts, you're going to get 99% rejection. You have to learn how to engage somebody in a successful conversation. When you have a prospect, instead of just going into the slideshow and everything, you have to learn how to ask open and closed-ended questions. You have to use the psychology of persuasion. This is one of the reasons I developed the gut sales method. Great, untraditional, unorthodox techniques of sales success. How do I start a conversation with people? I had another student and she said, Claude, how do I practice this? I said, are you going out today? She said, yeah, I'm going shopping. I said, where are you going? She said, I'm going to the supermarket, Safeway or something like that. And I said, start a conversation. Ask the person in front of you or behind you if they like, you see they have Captain Crunch in their shopping basket. Ask them how do they like it. Is it nutritious? No, it's not. But start engaging people by learning how to ask questions. Get them involved. Make them feel like you're interested in them, like you care about them. I always use the doctor analogy. What does your doctor do? Or hopefully your attorney, when you go speak to somebody, or your professional, or your accountant, what do? They ask you questions. What's the problem? What's the issue? Where does it hurt? How can you don't mind them asking those questions if you have a pain or a problem or some issue that's stressing you out. When you're selling a product or service or real estate or network marketing or car sales, whatever you're in, you want to ask the obvious questions to people, these open-ended questions, and get them talking, get them engaging. And you can prepare this, you can practice this. You learn a system, you don't memorize scripts. Okay, reading a script is like saying to yourself, gee, all people are the same. They all have the same problems. They all have the same budget. They all have the same time frame. They all have the same authority to make decisions. No, I've built up a really successful business, a very successful. I am debt-free, mortgage-free, retirement plan, great health care, all because, and no employees. Okay, good computer, good Wi-Fi. I live in different parts of the country, different times of the year. It's only because I learned one thing from my mentor, how to give good phone and how to converse with people. We have lost this skill. We have lost the ability. Ask yourself this. Can you spontaneously walk into an elevator and start talking with somebody or somebody on the supermarket line, much less your prospects or anybody else? When we deal with our prospects, we either go to the script or we give a long, boring presentation, and we don't really qualify. We don't really ask the right questions the right way. We want the prospects speaking. We want them engaging with us. We want them to like us, trust us. We want them to believe that we respect their time, knowledge, and energy. We want to engage them so we can find out what are their needs, what are their pains or problems. Gee, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, why are we talking today? What's your biggest challenge? What is your biggest pain or problem? What would you like to gain from this conversation from me today? If we could find a reasonable way to solve your problem that meets with your budget in a timely manner, do you have the authority to make a decision today? Or would you rather just say no to me right now? Would you do me a favor at the end of this conversation? I'll answer all your questions. Would you do me one favor, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect? Would you please fire me? You don't tell me to call you in 2 weeks or you'll think about it. I don't have the time for that. And you probably just want to say no anyway. So could you make me that one little promise? And I'll ask you a few questions. You ask me a few questions, and I'll try to give you some solutions, some ideas to help you solve your problem, whatever it may be. Boom. That is an agenda. It is an integral part of my gut sales method. Once I learn this system, and my whole system is about learning how to ask questions, open and closed-ended, how to converse with people comfortably, confidently. And do I close everybody? Of course not. But you know what? If I have these comfortable conversations, these stimulating exchange of ideas with people all day long, and I challenge myself to speak to at least 5 new people every day, 5 new prospects, 5 follow-ups from maybe 30 days to a year ago. I'll follow up with people. I'll do cold calls too, but I love warm calls. Who doesn't? Because they're much easier and a lot less rejection. The thing about it is, can I converse with people spontaneously? Know what to say. You ever get that deer in the headlights effect? Oh God, what am I going to say next? Oh, they asked me this question. You learn this. I practice with my students. I mentor students, 21 different countries. I have hundreds of students. And basically what we do is we learn the psychology of persuasion and influence through the gut sales method. 3 little steps: agenda, qualification, commitment to close. We learn stroking, nurturing, empathy, redirection. We learn all these wonderful things. And when we can engage people, and nobody's teaching this, all your gurus, all your seminars, all your webinars and everything, they give you all this motivation. Oh, John and Mary got rich and we're so smart and we're going to teach you how to do this and that and everything. They teach you everything about the product, the service, and they give you all that tons of motivation, but they won't share with you how to sell. How do you converse with somebody and how do you feel great about yourself every day? I love sales. I used to hate it because sales to me was just about embarrassing myself. The prospect would overpower me, embarrass me, pick my brain, and then be dismissive of me. Oh, well, thanks for the information. We'll call you some other time. Bye. Meanwhile, I drove hours in traffic. I spent a lot of money to get the lead. And then I get all this rejection. You cannot survive. You cannot succeed if you do not have a sales success method where you can converse with people spontaneously. If you cannot improvise, if you cannot converse with someone and make them like and trust you, you're doomed to fail. This is my secret sauce. I built up a really successful business because I speak to a handful of people every day. And I have so much fun with it. Do I close everybody? Of course not. But the thing about it is, if I'm having these productive exchange of ideas with people and I'm the authority figure in those conversations, guess what? I can make the next phone call and the one after that. If you're sitting around sending emails and texting and waiting for your virtual assistant to schedule appointments with you, this is subjective. You can disagree with me. You got a chat box there. Put your questions or whatever in. I'll tell you right now, you're doomed to fail. I only do one thing. I do it right. I keep my business real small. I keep my overhead very low and my profits are through the roof because I talk to people. The secret of conversation, of conversational selling. Nobody is teaching it out there. They're just giving you a lot of motivation. They're giving you a lot of strategies and facts and things like that. It can be real boring sometimes. I role play with my students all the time. Mondays, Wednesdays, private calls. We always role play and we apply the psychology of the gut sales method, the stroking, the nurturing, the empathy, the redirection, all the different things. If you've read any of my books, by the way, if you haven't read any of my gut sales book, they're at claudediamond.com. I also have a free consultation. You can schedule with me right on my webpage, claudediamond.com. Pick my brain, ask me a bunch of questions.